Kingdom fam, when you decide to truly follow after Jesus, like not for fake, but like for real, when you really leave everything behind and pursue him with your whole heart, your whole mind, all your strength in your mind and your soul and your spirit, all the things, you will start to lead an unconventional life, okay? Your path is going to seem unconventional to people who live conventional lives, okay? Following after Jesus means going against the grain. It means going upstream, okay? It means traveling the road less traveled, okay? It means walking the path that you're probably blazing as you go along, okay? But imagine if you could be surrounded by people who have that same vision, who have that same understanding that your life is going to be unconventional, that you're going to be called to do some crazy things. Your life is only unconventional to people who live conventional lives, okay? Welcome back, or welcome to Healed Woman. I am your host and founder, Samara Barrett, and you are locked and loaded at the right place at the right time, girlfriend, or king or queen, okay? We're definitely expanding the channel to include the kings who have recently joined the sisterhood, so we're just a community of believers on fire for two things. You already know the spiel, girlfriend, okay? We are desiring and aspiring to become women and men of extraordinary faith, worth, and valor. And we are dedicated to overcoming toxic mindsets as it relates to love and dating through Christ-centered recovery. Today, we are in for another struggle of a faith walk as we talk about leading an unconventional life, which, if you think about it, God traffics in the unconventional, okay? Everything he does goes against the world. Everything he does, or everything that God stands for and that he asks his children to stand beside him, okay, goes against pop culture, goes against the standards of the world, okay? It goes against things that may seem normal until you've been detoxed by the king himself. And he's like, no, my daughter, I have to rewire your thinking. I have to take you through a mindset shift so that you understand that these principles, the way you live your life, what you eat, what you wear, how you dress, how you present yourself to the world, the activities you do, the career you have, those were influenced by society, by peer pressure, by societal norms. But when you live for the kingdom, when you build for an eternal kingdom, God has to pull you in and start to rewire, detox you, and let you know that's not of me. Okay, and that's where it may seem a little bit unconventional because you're going against things that to you seem normal. But God had to let you know, no, my daughter, no, my son, this is how you build for the kingdom. This is how you represent my eternal kingdom, okay? This is how you represent me and all the things that I stand for. So today I really wanted to give you an encouraging word about living an unconventional life, but realizing that when you're surrounded by people who are visionaries, by people who are kingdom builders, by people who do understand the call and understand what comes with the call, it's not all that unconventional. When you lead an unconventional life, or when you lead a life after God's own heart, you will be called to do bold things, to make bold faith moves. We're no stranger to making bold faith moves. Shameless plug. So I took down the background that was behind me because I felt like it was kind of distracting, and I know white might be washing me out, but that's neither here nor there. But as you can see, there are a stack of boxes right there, which means I am also, I don't talk the talk unless I'm walking the walk, okay? I don't teach or I don't preach unless I've already been taught, okay? So I preach what I teach, my dear, okay? So whatever the Lord is calling me to do, he's absolutely calling me to do it before I can even tell you about it, okay? So I have boxes packed right now. I'm believing God for a big faith move, literally to move me where he's been calling me to. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know when he's going to take me. I don't know when he's going to be like, okay, my daughter, it's your turn. But I have faith like a mustard seed to say, you know what, Lord, you told me to be ready, to be packed, to be ready to go at any second, to trust you that you're going to move me where you need me. I'm going to pack up all my stuff. I'm going to put my stuff in boxes. I'm going to make sure that whenever you say go, I can literally go. And this may seem unconventional, okay? It may seem outside the box. God is outside the box. He dwells outside of our finite wisdom, okay? When God gives you a set of instructions, it's not for you to question him. It's for you to start moving. It's for you to start doing. It's for you to start taking those bold faith moves to show yourself, to put evidence behind your faith, the works. We always talk about that on this channel, to put evidence behind your faith and say, you know what, Lord, I believe that you are going to move me. So I'm going to pack up some stuff that I'm not using right now. I believe that you are going to give me a new source of provision. So I'm not going to waste my time looking for other sources. I'm going to trust in when you release that new fund, that new source to me. I am trusting you for a partner, for a life partner, for a purpose partner. So I'm not going to just date casually or waste my time scouring the field looking for, looking for that person when you already have someone for me, and I'm going to put all of my attention and my intention behind that person, behind preparing for that person. Okay. So these are all things that the Lord will require you to do. And if you have the faith that he is a God of his word, okay, that he does not lie, that his words are not going to return to him void or empty or untrue, then you'll begin to put the works behind that. And I know we're kind of going off on a faith and works tangent right now, but it's all up and through this, honey. If you do not have the faith, you have nothing. And to lead an unconventional life, you're going to need a whole lot of faith. You're going to need a whole lot of faith in Jesus Christ and in the things that he tells you to do and in the moment he tells you to do them, okay, with the quickness. So I really want to focus on leading this unconventional life and the bold faith it takes to really continue down that path, because it's going to be lonely. It's going to be challenging. It is not going to be without trials. It's not going to be without challenges, without obstacles, but you will overcome. You will overcome because you already play for the winning team. You already play for, for the person who shows up and fights all your battles on your behalf. So it's not a question of, am I going to survive on this unconventional path? It's how can I show myself faithful as I journey along, no matter what the circumstances look like, no matter what's required of me, no matter what's obligated along the way to fulfill, what God is calling me to, the purpose he's called me to fulfill, to complete. Okay. So these are all questions and more to begin thinking about this unconventional lifestyle. Okay. So those who are too afraid to live extraordinary lives, even those in the kingdom, okay, they are bound to the mediocrity of their own life. They cannot possibly understand how you could be thriving even though you're not doing any of the things that society deems as successful or deems as the prerequisite to success, because you are called to live by a different set of rules. Okay, there's different criteria, standards, obligations, challenges to overcome on the path to success in the kingdom. And if you don't understand that, you will forever be comparing your path to someone else, even someone who's called to a different faith journey than you, okay? So we're not even thinking just about, a believer versus someone who lives their life according, without God, okay? People who live their life without consulting God. We're talking about people who actually acknowledge God, who believe God, and who are on a different faith journey, and yours may not look like theirs, and you're thinking, why am I not being successful? You're on a different faith journey, my dear. You're not called to succeed the same way they are. You're not going to go through the same tests and trials. Yes, you will be tested to be proved faithful. You will be tested and refined and pruned and purged and all the things that we know happen in the wilderness. But your journey is still different. Your faith journey has to look different for the call on your life. It has to look different because you have to be prepared in a way that will catapult you into your next level. Your next level is not that person's next level. It's going to look different for everyone. So even comparing your faith journey to someone else, you could be thinking that I'm not living unconventionally enough, or I'm not doing, making big, bold faith moves like this other person. And God may not be calling you to that right now in this season. And that's something to consider. That's something to consider. What is the timeline of your season? And why do you think that you are behind, or that you are on some different path that is not going to lead you to where God is taking you? Everyone, every single believer, even people who exist in purposeful partnerships, has a different, distinct faith journey. Those purpose partners learn to live in harmony, okay? They learn to complement each other's faith journeys, but you can't even compare your faith journey to your partners, to someone who you're in business with, to family members, okay? We know this. You can't compare your life to people who are not destined for the mediocre, but people who accept average. Let's be real here. People who accept average, who do not want to live a life of extraordinary faith, worth, and valor, things that we aspire to here at Healed Woman, they will not understand the call in your life. They will not understand why you're called to do the things that you have to do, which may seem unconventional for a season. You will be called to do different things that will seem crazy and unconventional to people, but it's just for a season. Because when you are in season, when that season hits, when it becomes due season, my dear, it's going to make sense why you had to do what you had to do, why you had to prepare the way you were prepared, why you had to go through the wilderness. Because when you start entering that promised land, when you start crossing over, when you start reaping that harvest that you sowed in tears, come on, Holy Spirit, it's going to make sense. It's going to make a miracle, okay? There's a quote that comes to mind: the inconceivable always produces a miracle. So people who cannot possibly conceptualize why you were called to do what you were called to do, why you have to pack, months in advance of moving, why you had to prepare mentally, why you had to go through programs over and over again to really solidify your healing. They don't understand why you had to go through those programs 2 and 3 times. They don't understand why you were so adamant about doing something that didn't make sense. But guess what, honey? We know this. We don't live for man's approval. We don't live for anyone else's approval or opinions. We don't die living for other people's approval. Come on now. If you're really and truly called to an extraordinary life, you will be tested extraordinarily. We know that. Fill in the blank, honey. Fill in the blank. You will be tested extraordinarily. And you will be proved faithful. Your faith is making you whole. Your faith is what's crossing you over. Your faith is what's taking you to the next level. Because you keep stepping out and putting the evidence, putting the works behind that faith. And God is so pleased with you. He's so proud of you. And he will add the increase. He will add the increase unconventionally. Seriously, that's a whole word. He will add the increase unconventionally. Your pockets will be filled up. Your pockets will be filled up, without you having to break a sweat. I've told you before, I've been told to go on trips when I had less than $100 to my name, less than $100 in my bank account. Was I freaking out? Absolutely. Did God make a way? Absolutely. I had to make a bold faith move. Sometimes you're going to have to say, you're going to commit verbally that you can go somewhere before the funds even hit your bank account. That is faith. That takes faith to step out and be unconventional and say, you know what, Lord, if you want me there, you're going to take me there. You're going to take me there. I don't have to worry. I don't have to beat, pound the pavement. I don't have to pound the pavement, okay? I don't have to beat my feet. I don't have to do any of these crazy things, turn tricks, work the corner to make something happen that you're already funding. Heaven always funds heaven's vision. Albeit unconventional, my dear, albeit unconventionally. God traffics in the unconventional. He does not play by our set of rules. He doesn't acknowledge things here on earth. He makes heaven come down to earth, okay? Things that make sense in a heavenly kingdom are not going to appear conventional here on earth, but they always make a miracle. They always make a miracle, okay? People who accept mediocrity, people who are destined to an average life, they do not understand and they cannot possibly appreciate your level of faith that is being birthed in your unconventional living, in your unconventional decisions. You gotta leave those people behind, my dear, okay? They will never understand the way you move, why you move the way you move, and their opinion holds very little weight, okay? If we are not living by their opinions, they can, talk till they're blue in the face. They can preach at us till they're blue in the face about how our lifestyle doesn't make any sense. That's okay. I'm called to a heavenly kingdom. I'm called to build for an eternal kingdom, my dear. It's not going to make sense here on earth, but it is going to make a miracle, okay? And you be unashamed in your faith. You be unashamed in your convictions. Because God's word, it's always the last word, is it not? Okay? Is it not?